Hello, welcome back to Momming with Migraine. My name is Jen, I'm 17 weeks pregnant. In today's video, I'm going to tell you about how my chronic migraines have changed with pregnancy and also how my POTS has changed with pregnancy. But first, I'm going to show you this behind the scenes video from this morning when Migraine Jen was making my hair pink. Take a look. Hey guys, it's Jen. I'm kind of having a bit of a migraine right now. I woke up with it and it's been like a few more hours and I'm starting to feel better, so I wanted to get started on this video a little bit early before I'm like ready. Obviously I'm all dirty right now. I'm still in my PJ shirt, but I wanted to let you guys know it's time to make my hair pink. Last week I posted on my Instagram story one of those question poll things. I'm not tech savvy, I don't know any of this stuff, and I asked if I should bring my pink hair back, and it was a pretty close race. 100% said yes, I should make my hair pink again, or rose gold. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, but I wanted to say hi to you guys first and then we'll get a little bit more official with the video, but be prepared, my hair will be rose gold. To be honest, I'm not really sure why I felt like I needed to warn you ahead of time that my hair would be pink when I came back. I think maybe it's just a strange Migraine Jen thought, but I will be really glad that I have these clips, if not Migraine Jen wants them. Migraines make it so difficult to be coherent and make sentences. All right, it's real now. I'm super excited. The pink is marinating. If you want to be involved in decisions like this in the future, make sure that you're following me on Instagram. My handle is Momming with Migraine, all one word. I'm going to go ahead and finish up getting ready, rinse this all out, and I'll see you after the song. Actually, one more thing before the song. I can't believe I almost forgot. I have to show you guys my 17-week baby bump. Check it out. Sorry for the shaky camera work. I just feel so cute. I feel so cute. Okay, now the song and we can get started with the video. I have 3 different things to tell you about migraines and 3 different things to tell you about POTS, so I'm just gonna list them all out and then we can all be on our merry way. How my chronic migraines have changed with pregnancy. Point number 1, they're at a different time of day. Before I got pregnant, I was on this very regular cycle with my migraines. I would wake up in postdrome, sort of have a little bit of normalcy in the middle of the day, and then somewhere around 3 or so, Buddy would alert that a migraine was coming, and by 6, 7-ish, I was a vegetable. Eventually I'd fall asleep, wake up in the morning in postdrome, and then repeat the cycle again. Since I got pregnant, that whole cycle has been pushed back by like, I don't know, hours. So instead of getting my alert at like 1-ish in the afternoon or 2, it's a miracle if it waited until 4. Now I'm usually not getting my alert until 5, 6, 7, 8. Sometimes I'm not even getting alerted because it's gonna hit in the middle of the night or in the morning. So last night I didn't get alerted until I think 6 p.m., 5:30 or 6 p.m. And then the migraine didn't actually hit until sometime in the middle of the night and I woke up in it this morning. So that's thing number 1. How my chronic migraines have changed during pregnancy. Point number 2, so much more nauseating. To be clear, nausea during migraines is not something that's new to me. Some of my migraines are very vestibular, meaning I get vertigo. My vertigo is always spinning backwards, and then of course I just feel like I need to throw up. Back when I had a job, I was pretty consistently throwing up at work and just feeling really ill a lot of the time, feeling seasick. After a good year or 2 of that, I found vestibular therapy. It was a very triggering thing to go through. Oh my gosh. It was a very triggering thing to go to because of course all I was doing was triggering my vertigo with all of these exercises, but what it did was it made it so that I can go like this. And I'm not dizzy now. Well, a little bit dizzy, but it gave me a freedom to move around a lot more. I'm able to do the dishes, empty the dishwasher now because the down and up used to just put me in spins. I think I was active in vestibular therapy as in going every week to check in with a therapist maybe 2 or 3 years ago, so it's been a long time, but it definitely had lasting effects and I haven't really been having trouble with my nausea ever since I went through that really immersive course. With pregnancy, you get morning sickness. So you're already a little bit more nauseous, and my morning sickness happens in the morning and then again in the afternoon. And I found that if I have a migraine coming, I don't know if it's morning sickness nausea or normal nausea, but it's really bad when I'm getting a migraine now. On the mornings that I wake up in a migraine, it can get pretty bad, or if I start to get my migraine earlier in the day, then my afternoons can be a bit rough. And I think that's all the detail that you need about that. So let's move on to number 3. I thought I'd end this migraine one on a good note. Number 3, the pain during my migraines has been much more mild during pregnancy. When we first decided that we were going to try to get pregnant, and when we were trying to conceive, I will throw that story video here, I obviously knew that I had to get off of all of my preventative medications that I was taking for my migraines. I obviously also knew that the chronic migraines could continue into pregnancy, and if that were the case, then I would be completely without the abortive medications that I had become used to. You know what painkiller you're allowed during pregnancy? Tylenol. You know what laughs at Tylenol? Chronic migraines. Needless to say, even though I was very excited to get pregnant and start this part of our journey, I was not excited for the part where I might just be in excruciating pain with nothing very strong to combat it. Granted, I wasn't really a big medication user anyway because I usually rebound from triptans, so for the most part, I don't take them anyway. But I at least had other options. I had any strong options. I could take anti-nausea. I could take a muscle relaxer for my neck if it tensed up. So I was like freaking out about pregnancy in a way because on the one hand, from what I'd read, migraines do tend to be more mild during pregnancy. On the other hand, there's no guarantees. And once you're there, you're stuck. That's obviously a very welcome change to my migraines. Honestly, I would much rather have what's going on where I'm super nauseous, which frankly I was expecting during pregnancy anyway, but my pain isn't that high, rather than the other way around. It would have been really hard to deal with really high pain and low nausea as a, come on words, as an alternate universe. I want to say I read somewhere that the majority of women who have had a migraine and also given birth rate their worst migraines as worse pain than giving birth. So how inhumane would that have been if I had horrible migraine pain the entire pregnancy and then grand finale have to give birth? I'm counting my lucky stars on this one. I just thought of one more thing I should probably let you know. So number 4, my migraines are about the same frequency as before. They're more mild and they're shorter, but they come around just about as often. The reason I thought it was important to bring this up is because for a lot of women, their chronic migraines are a bit hormonal, or there's a hormonal aspect to them. So as they have their monthly cycle, their migraines kind of get worse and better. Once you're pregnant, your hormones just continue to elevate. You don't get the crashes that you get when it's time to get your period. So for some people, that can be a bit inhibitory for their chronic migraines, which is great. But for me, that just didn't happen. My migraines have never really been hormonal, so I didn't get gifted with that. Now, let's move on to POTS. Item number 1 with my POTS, whoa, worse, way worse. With POTS, you get tachycardia or a rapid heart rate upon standing. And before I was pregnant, the thing I hated the most about that was that it was a really uncomfortable feeling in my chest. And then if it got fast enough, I would get lightheaded or dizzy, and I would need to lay down to make sure that I didn't faint. However, before I was pregnant, I never actually fainted all the way. I would just get really close to it. I would get dazed, things would fade in and out, but I would more or less remain conscious through the whole episode. Once I got pregnant, probably around the 5th week, boom, fainting for real. And actually, I caught it on camera. So now you guys are in on my little secret. Those fainting episodes that I was getting when I was trying to make this Aura playlist, that was actually because I was newly pregnant. This baby is taking like all of my blood. How POTS has changed during pregnancy, thing number 2. There are actually certain weeks of pregnancy when you're more likely to feel dizzy, even when you don't have orthostatic intolerance problems. And those particular weeks have been the weeks when I've been the most likely to be faint. I'll be honest, as someone whose autonomic system doesn't really work very well, I am always thrilled when my body behaves by the book. Unfortunately, I don't know exactly which weeks it was that this was happening to me in. All I do remember is I would have a particularly bad 3 or 4 days in a row, so I would go back either into my Ava app or into the book that I've been reading for what symptoms to expect week by week. And every time I seemed to have a really bad POTS week, it also happened to be a really bad pregnancy dizziness week. I know it was around weeks 5 or 6, and then again around weeks 12 or 13. Once again, I wanted to end the list on a good note, so thing number 3 about my POTS during pregnancy is that the increased blood volume from pregnancy has actually helped a lot on a lot of days. I've had some really good days. Let's find out exactly how much extra blood you get, How much does your blood volume increase during pregnancy?
According to AHA journals, the total blood volume increase varies from 20% to 100% above pre-pregnancy levels, usually close to 45%.
Okay, so 20% to 100% more blood volume, usually close to 45%. That's a lot of extra blood, and on most days you feel too tired from trying to make said blood, but on the days that that isn't happening for whatever reason, it feels really good to have that much extra blood. I might even go as far as to say that maybe once or twice a week, I have a day where I feel like I can just be on my feet all day. Not standing still by any means, but if I'm walking around completing chores, I can actually be up on my feet all day, as long as I keep eating and stay hydrated. Which brings us to yet another bonus that I thought of while I was talking. I forgot. Way number 4 that POTS has changed during pregnancy is that my increased appetite from pregnancy has helped me manage my POTS symptoms better. Hear me out. Better. Was that a proper use of better? Let me know. Chronic illness can make you quite sedentary, and being sedentary means you're not burning a lot of calories, which means that you're maybe not eating that much. And especially with POTS, it's really hard to stand up, be standing and cook, so there were a lot of days that I just didn't eat very regular meals. And this could get especially bad on the days when I wasn't already feeling POTSy. Because frankly, my memory is not the best. And if there's a day that I'm not feeling very POTSy, I'm going to be getting chores done, I'm going to be getting errands done. I'm not thinking about having a meal every 2 hours or making sure that I'm drinking a big glass of water every 2 hours. It's just not something that can be on your radar all the time. And if you're not feeling very symptomatic that day, sometimes there's just nothing there to remind you and you get distracted, and then of course that triggers your POTS. But now that I'm pregnant, Little Bean is definitely reminding me, hey, I'm hungry. Increased appetite means I'm eating more regularly, like every 2 hours. That's more opportunities for me to intake salt, more opportunities and more frequently that I'm drinking water. And those 3 things together mean better POTS symptoms. And no matter what, whether I'm lightheaded that day or not, I have to eat. So I'm getting a little bit more salt. And every time I eat, I drink a full glass of water. It's just a habit that I've always been in. So this regular water consumption and regular snack consumption has helped immensely with POTS symptoms, especially on the days when I probably would have been triggering POTS by forgetting about it. And that's it. That's my list. I lied at the beginning and said 3 and 3, but that's actually 4 and 4. I hope it was helpful. Comment below. Let me know if your experience was the same or different, or if you're trying to conceive, if this helps ease your mind at all about maybe what you can expect. As always, make sure you hit like and subscribe, and I will see you next